When was the last time Second Life actually made your life easier? Don't answer that. Today we've got 2 updates that might just do it. A new membership tier without the weekly stipend, and a viewer update that could finally stop your Mac from crying every time you log in. These announcements came during a Zoom meeting with bloggers and content creators, where Linden Lab leadership, including Brad Oberwager and Philip Rosedale, shared updates and answered questions directly. And while those were the big headlines, there were also a few other things discussed. From support improvements to how Linden Lab wants us, the residents, to help shape the future of onboarding. Let's start with memberships. The main reason I upgraded to Premium Plus was for the group slots. Managing with the basic group limit is frustrating. I like to follow my favorite brands so I can keep up with new releases. Many brands also offer loyalty discounts, either directly at purchase or through store credit. Occasionally, you'll see a brand reward you automatically once you've spent a certain amount without requiring a group. But there are still plenty of situations where joining a group is essential, whether it's to access exclusive discounts, grab a cool gift, get into a sim or event, or even just to have res rights. And if you run a business, well, groups become a necessary evil. Having extra slots gives me breathing room, and for me, that alone made the upgrade worth it. Priority access was first introduced as a perk for premium members, and it's still technically there. Back in the day, when there were fewer premium accounts, it really felt like a true advantage. You could get into packed events much faster. These days, with so many people holding premium, that priority feels a lot less exclusive. If 2,000 premium members are all trying to get in at once, someone's still going to be stuck waiting. And honestly, events aren't as full as they used to be. So most of the time you barely even need that perk anymore. The free uploads were my secondary reason for upgrading. For creators, free uploads are a no-brainer. Back when I managed rentals, I used to cringe every time I had to upload a batch of images. If you're on a tight budget, those 10 Lindens charges here and there add up fast. These days, it's different for me. For example, I have this cool new phone that can hold up to 50 photos. So far, I've only added about 15. They need to be a certain size, so there's a bit of prep work involved. But if I want to swap out pictures or update the frames on my walls, I have to upload more. For creators, free uploads are essential. For someone like me, who just enjoys decorating and changing out photos, it's not a necessity, but it's still a very nice perk. Those 2 reasons, groups and free uploads, were why I chose Premium Plus. Now, Linden Lab has announced a new option. You can save money by choosing a plan without the weekly stipend or the one-time bonus you get when you first upgrade to Premium. For me, this is a massive saving. I'm not going to lie. Premium Plus membership is a big expense. My last renewal landed in the same week as my region tier, and I had to put it on my credit card just to cover both. So naturally, I've been asking myself, do I really need the stipend? If dropping it would save me over $100 a year, I'd seriously consider downgrading when my renewal comes up. That was my first reaction. Salt Perry shared her perspective on social media, saying this change would help stabilize the economy. What she is referring to is that when there's no stipend, people aren't handed free Linden dollars every week. That means they actually have to buy Lindens, which reduces the overall supply and circulation. This shift helps balance the market and gives merchants better conversion rates when they sell. Right now, some residents live entirely off their stipends, never needing to purchase Lindens at all. Add to that the extra Lindens flooding in from perks like free uploads for Premium Plus members, and you end up with too much currency floating around. By removing the stipend option, Linden Lab is effectively nudging the economy back into balance, making things healthier for creators and sellers. From a personal perspective, this makes sense. I have regions and already get concierge support, so I don't need a Linden home or a stipend for my basic needs. My primary reason for Premium Plus was always the groups, with free uploads as a bonus. Many years ago, when new membership tiers were first introduced, residents were already suggesting a more customizable model. People wanted to buy specific add-ons. Maybe someone only wanted 80 or 150 group slots. Maybe they just wanted free uploads, or maybe a Linden home without all the extra perks. This new no stipend plan reminded me of those old conversations. I'm not sure how viable true a la carte memberships would be, but it's worth thinking about it. If you have thoughts on that, or even better ideas, share them. It's something the community might want to push for. Now, let's talk about Apple. I've always been an Apple fan. For years, I used an iMac for Second Life, and honestly, the experience was dreadful. Eventually, I moved to a Mac Mini, but I don't really use Macs for Second Life anymore, as I have a custom-built PC for that. Since I'm planning to travel again next year, I've been considering a MacBook. The problem was, I assumed Second Life would force me into buying a Windows laptop. And let's be clear, I love my Apple gear. I'm not switching. That's why this update is such a big deal. Linden Lab is releasing a version of the viewer optimized for Apple Silicon. If you have a Mac with an M series chip, you can expect a massive performance boost, anywhere from 20% to 200% faster, depending on your model. For me, this means that when I'm on the road, I'll finally be able to log in, take photos, and maybe even do some filming without wanting to throw my MacBook out the window. Another positive change, customer support. Linden Lab has worked through their backlog of tickets, and response times have improved significantly. They've streamlined processes, added training, and focused on efficiency. That should mean quicker, more consistent resolutions when you reach out for help. Now let's look at onboarding. With Project Zero and the mobile app, Linden Lab has been bringing in about 10 times more first-time sign-ups than before. Retention gains are still small, but at least they're moving in the right direction. Brad made it clear during the meeting, onboarding alone isn't enough. The community has to play a role too. He pushed us, again, to come up with ideas for improving the experience, because no amount of marketing will matter if new users log in, have a bad first experience, and immediately leave. On that note, Brad acknowledged something important. The community was vocal about disliking Linden Lab's previous marketing campaigns. They've heard us, and they've made changes. We've started seeing some of the new ads now. So here's a question for you. What do you think of them? I've had a few conversations with different people, and there's been some interesting debate. Not just about the overall message, but even about the wording and grammar in these ads. It's fascinating how people notice the little details and how those details can shape their perception of the platform. These updates show progress. More membership flexibility, better Mac performance, improved customer support, and a clear focus on bringing in new users. It's not perfect yet, but these are the kinds of changes that can make Second Life stronger if both Linden Lab and the community keep pushing forward. Brad once again asked residents to bring solutions to the table, specific, measurable, and ready to implement. Linden Lab says they'll listen, they'll invest, and Brett is even cutting deals left and right for the right ideas. And honestly, I will think about it because I believe in Second Life. It's an incredible world if you give it a chance. and a lot of patience. But here's the thing. As much as I'd love to see Linden Lab fix some of the long-standing issues, I don't think they can at this point. The damage is done. So instead of getting stuck on that, I try to be impartial. My goal is to share what's happening, even when Linden Lab might not understand why it's such a big deal, or why the community is talking about it. Most of the leadership possibly doesn't actually live in Second Life, so there's this gap between how they see the platform and how we experience it every day. Like, does Brad even have a house in World? Does he know how to res furniture without it disappearing into the abyss? That could make a fun little video. Brad, call me. We'll make a tutorial. Whatever's going on behind the scenes, Linden Lab needs to share more openly. Not just the carefully worded blog posts that only focus on positive spin. That said, it doesn't mean I won't keep brainstorming ways to bring new people in. Because despite all the flaws and frustrations, I really do believe this world is worth it.